All right. Hi, everybody. So today we are going to be taking notes and learning about chapter 1, section 1. All right. So 1.1. And this section is about integers and absolute value. So as we go through, you should have your math composition notebook out in front of you, and you should have either a pen or a pencil and be ready to write as we go through this. So first thing I would like you to write is I would like you to write 1.1 integers and absolute value. All right, so this is just your heading on your page to help organize your notebook. Next, I would like you to write the learning target, which is over here. And the learning target for today is going to be, I will be able to find the absolute value of an integer. So make sure you have that down just so that we know what's our end goal for this lesson. Okay, we're going to jump right in. Feel free as you watch this video to pause and write as you need, okay? This is all on your own terms. So if you need extra time to write, no worries. Just pause the video, get that writing done, and then play it once you're ready. All right, so first thing we're going to talk about is integers. So the following numbers are integers. As you can see, it goes from negative infinity all the way to positive infinity. So integers can be any number that is negative, any number that is positive. It essentially goes from negative infinity to positive infinity. And what we call these numbers are integers. So this is our first vocabulary term of 7th grade math. Next, we're going to scroll down to absolute value. Absolute value. The absolute value of an integer is the distance between the number and 0 on a number line. Okay, the absolute value of a number A is written as, and you can see it's the letter A with 2 lines around it. And I'm going to show you what that means. So you see the number line down here. Okay, absolute value essentially means how far is that number from 0? So if we take a peek at 4, okay, so over here, 4. How far is 4 from 0? Well, you can see this arrow from 0. So we go over from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. It's 4 units, okay? So therefore, the absolute value of 4, which is written like this, is 4. Now let's take a peek at the absolute value of negative 4. So again, it's the same idea. What's the distance from 0 to negative 4? Well, we count 0 to negative 1, negative 1 to negative 2, negative 2 to negative 3, negative 3 to negative 4. So the absolute value of negative 4, which is written like that with the lines around it, is a positive 4. So I want you to think right now. Do you notice a pattern about absolute value? Or maybe you've seen absolute value before. What is the absolute value always going to be? Is it going to be negative? Is it going to be positive? Think about that for a second. So hopefully you were thinking that you noticed that the absolute value of both of these is positive. So a good rule of thumb is that the absolute value of a number is always going to be positive. And that's because, let me write this over here, distance always is going to be positive. Okay, so distance is always going to be positive. Think about you don't travel negative miles when you're on a road trip. You travel positive miles. It's always going to be positive. Okay, so we're going to jump into our first example. So example 1, finding absolute value. Find the absolute value of 2. How we're going to write this is we are going to write the lines around the 2. So the absolute value of 2 is going to be, and we're going to make a number line. So we're going to put 0 right here. On the left, we're going to have negative 1, negative 2, and so on. And over here, we're going to have 1 and 2. Okay, I'm going to plot the point 2. And I need to figure out what is the distance from 0 to 2. Okay, so I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to go down to 0 and I'm going to count. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, well, the absolute value of 2 is just going to be 2 because that is the distance from 0 to 2. So that's our answer. All right, pretty straightforward. Now let's go down to example 2. finding the absolute value of -3. So first thing we need to do, draw our number line, 0, -1. Remember, our negative numbers are always on the left of 0, -3. I'm just going to go up to -3, and then on this side, I'm going to draw 1, 2, and 3. All right, I'm going to plot the point -3. I'm going to draw a circle right here just so I know. And what I need to do to find the absolute value of -3, written like this, -3, is I need to figure out what is the distance from 0 to -3. Remember, distance is always positive. So I'm going to go from 0, 1, 2, 3. How many units is that I traveled? Well, you can see I traveled 3 units. So the absolute value of -3 is going to be a +3. So a reminder, if we look back up at the definition, distance is always positive. So our absolute values are always going to be a positive number. All right, so right now what I would like you to do is I would like you to pause this video and I want you to try these 4 on your own. Okay, try these 4 on your own. All right, you should have completed the 4. So now you can check your answers. The absolute value of 7 is going to be 7. The absolute value of -1 is going to be, is going to be 1. The absolute value of -5 is going to be +5. The absolute value of 14 is going to be 14. All right, so check your answers. If you have questions on those, let me know if you are still unsure on how to do those. Okay, and our final example is going to be compare 1 and the absolute value of -4. So I'm going to draw a number line to start. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to go up to 5 on both sides. Okay, so go up to -5 and +5. All right, so compare 1 and -4. I'm going to plot both of these points. So 1, where is 1 on the number line? Well, it's right here. So I'm going to plot the point. I'm going to draw a circle at that 1. Okay, plot the point. Now we want to be careful. If you look over here, the absolute value of -4, that's not -4. We're not plotting -4. They want us to compare the absolute value of -4. So what is the absolute value of -4? Think about that. What's the distance from -4 to 0? You should be thinking that it is going to be +4. So when we compare the absolute value of -4 on this graph, we're not comparing -4 and 1. We're comparing 1 and the absolute value of -4, which is actually a +4. All right. So then to compare these, we're going to be using our less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So we have 1 on this side and we have the absolute value. Oopsies. See, mistakes of my technology. Sorry about that. And we're going to have the absolute value of -4 on this side. All right. And we need to compare them. Which one's greater? Are they equal? What's going on here? So look at the number line. Which one is greater? Well, I can see that the absolute value of -4, which let's just make that clear. This is the absolute value of -4 that we're graphing. I can see that that is greater than 1. So I'm going to draw the greater than symbol because I know that 1 is less than the absolute value of -4. Okay, so we're going to go down here. And what I want you to do on your own is I want you to first make sure that you are writing down what is the absolute value of -2 first before you compare these two. Okay, so the absolute value of -2 would be, well, that would be 2. So I'm going to make sure that I'm actually comparing 2 and -1 rather than just paying attention to the number that's inside those absolute values. So 2 would be greater than -1. So this would be greater than symbol. All right, pause this video, please, and I would like you to do 6, 7, and 8 on your own. All right, you should have done 6, 7, and 8. So the absolute value of 6 is indeed just 6. So is -7 less than or greater than 6? It is less than, so you should have a less than symbol. Over here, the absolute value of 10 is 10. So is 10 less than or greater than 11? 10 is less than 11, so we should have the less than symbol. And then 9 and the absolute value of negative 9. The absolute value of negative 9 is in fact a positive 9. So we would use the equal sign because 9 is equal to 9. All right, those are the notes for 1.1. Please make sure you have all of these written down in your math composition notebook. And once you have those down, you may get started on the big ideas assignment that we will complete in class together. So your homework for 1.1 is complete. Thanks for watching.